Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to go through all the games because I got to see all of them because I had the red zone. So I got to see a lot of the games. So the first game was Miami versus Baltimore. Let's talk about it. Hold on real quick. Give me a second, man. What's up, One True? Give me 1 second. So, Felton Moore, what up? Nerdy Blue, what up? One True basically told everything right there. The Baltimore Ravens. Hold on, this thing is freaking out. So, the Baltimore Ravens lost the game 42-38. Miami won the game. Shout out to Miami for coming back, keeping the resilience alive. They dropped 28 points in the fourth quarter. The reason Baltimore, I'm going to go to why Miami won. Then I'm going to go to why Baltimore lost. Miami won because the fourth quarter, Baltimore decided to play their corners. I don't know if that was the design of the play. Their corners were playing 7 to 10 yards deep, which is understandable because Tyreek Hill and Waddle are very fast, but you have to get hands on them. So I would have played them 3 to 5 yards deep if you're going to do that, because if you don't put a hand on Tyreek Hill or Waddle, they're going to destroy you. And that just basically came down to it in the fourth quarter. You know, that just comes down to it. Fourth quarter. You know, that's how it goes. That's why I say football is 60 minutes. You can't play 58 minutes or 59.99. It is a 60-minute game. Also, Miami basically, they started moving the pocket for Tua. Tua was able, shout out to Tua, man. I give Tuna Fish. He's still Tuna Fish to me. I'm not changing his name until he proves me that he can stay durable the whole season and that he could take this team to the playoffs. Until then, he's Tuna Fish. Okay. Now, Tyreek Hill and Jeremy Waddle are the Salmon. Those two receivers are going to be probably the best tandem this year in the league. So I would watch out for them. But Miami needs to run the ball better. They only had 86 yards total rushing, which isn't bad, but it isn't great. They had 461 passing yards. If not for that fourth quarter, Tuna Fish played like crap the whole game. Like, he played like crap. He couldn't get the ball to Tyreek. He couldn't get the ball to Waddle or any of his weapons. If it wasn't for the collapse of the Ravens defense, Miami would have lost this game. It was evident. And also the reason Miami also won the game is they were efficient on third downs. They were 7 of 11. They were 7 of 11, you know, which is 64% on third down. That is very key. And they got 27 first downs, which is very key. What that means is that they had won the time of possession. The time of possession they had was 34 minutes and 47 seconds compared to the Baltimore Ravens 25 minutes and 13 seconds. You know, the Ravens had those big plays in the beginning to Duvernay, Robinson, I believe, Bateman, Lamar Jackson also ran for a touchdown. So the Ravens got most of their points in the second quarter, you know, which was 21 points. And in the third quarter, they had 7 points. You cannot lose that game if you're Baltimore. Lamar Jackson gave you 3 touchdowns through the air and 1 touchdown on the ground. That's 4 touchdowns he gave you. And you lost the game because your defense was inept at stopping the Dolphins. Come on. Yeah, the Ravens secondary had a lot of blown coverages because Marcus Peters, what's up, King Jeffrey? What up, T-Hub, Damon? They had a lot of blown coverages, but when you get a lead like that, you cannot blow it. This is bad because the Ravens, because of this, I don't trust them to close out the deal in the season. I don't know if they'll probably make the playoffs, but I don't know if they'll win because this defense is doing the same thing they did last year. They had their starters out there and still lost. Now, they had some injuries, but come on. So the time of possession, the Dolphins won by 9 minutes and 34 seconds. The Ravens lost the game because they were 3 and 10 on third down efficiency. 3 of 10. That's 30%. That's not good. You've got to find a way to get the third downs going because when the playoffs come and you need a third down and you're not getting the third down, that's going to hurt you. I put that more so on Greg Roman than Lamar Jackson because Roman is the play caller. He's got to put his team in a position to get the first down on third downs if it comes down to that, because you're not going to have all these big plays to the end zone. It's just not going to happen. But shout out to Baltimore. We see their receivers actually can play, which I told people from preseason. The Baltimore Ravens receivers aren't going to be bad. They're going to be good. The problem I have is you paid all this money for a defense that gave up 28 points in the fourth quarter. 28 points. Let that sink in. You gave all that money to the defense, right? Exactly, Mello. What's up, Mello? No, I need tuna fish. I need tuna fish to play the whole season. Tuna fish can't be having these games and then all of a sudden come back with a dud and then he gets hurt during the season. Look, tuna fish has a team around him. He's always had a team around him since Alabama. Like I told my boy Chance. Shout out to Chance. I told Chance last night. Tuna and Mac Jones are just quarterbacks to me that you have to have a team around them or they won't function. You have to get them the groceries. You have to buy them groceries. You have to buy them everything for them to be successful. I don't see them as being franchise type quarterbacks. That's just my opinion. But this is why the game was won by the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill and Waddle came up big down the stretch in the fourth quarter. Great play by those fellas. Also, somebody else came up big for him. Mike Gesicki, great tight end, good tight end. So the Ravens gave up 190 yards to Tyreek, 171 to Waddle. So, but Gesicki also, shout to him. He's a beast. That tight end, he's always been good. He's very underrated. Gesicki has been good for the last 2-3 years. He just doesn't get talked about a lot because he's very quiet. So that's why the Ravens lost that game. Now, the next game, the New York Jets in Cleveland. Cleveland in New York, this was a good game. This was a good game. Them and the Cleveland Browns. It was tied. It was tied going into the halftime. It was the Jets basically put up 7. They were leading going into the second quarter. Cleveland came back, dropped 2 touchdowns, which put them in the lead. And then the Jets came back and they dropped 2 touchdowns to take the lead in the second quarter. And then Cleveland tied it up. So it's 14-all. Then you went to the second half in the third quarter. Give me a second, y'all. So, so basically the Browns, what's up, C-Pen? Yeah, basically, same old Browns, like C-Pen said. What's up, Mello? Skippy Tone. Gave them 3 touchdowns, they still lost. AFC North was pitiful yesterday. They were. I just talked about the Ravens. The Ravens paid all that money to the defense, right, C-Pen? This is supposed to be the new and improved defense. They got torched for 28 points in the fourth quarter. But Lamar Jackson can't get no money. Lamar Jackson can't get no money when he carried the team yesterday. But he just has to do better on third downs. But other than that, what's up, Philip? I already talked about the Ravens, man. You got to rewind it. Now we're on the Jets and the Browns. The Browns put up 3 points. They were leading 17-14, and then they put up 13 in the fourth quarter. They allowed the Jets to get 17 points on them to win the game 31-30. Also, the total yards, basically, you had 405 from the Browns, 402 from the Jets. Now, the Browns had 184 yards rushing. They controlled the game. The time of possession, they had 32 minutes and 14 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Which they won by 4 minutes and 68 seconds. The penalties, the Jets had more penalties. So you can't say, and then third down efficiency, the Browns were 8-12. So they were 8-12, which is 67%. The Jets were 53% on third downs. They wasted their efforts. The interception that was thrown like later by Jacoby to try to win the game. But the Jets fumbled earlier in the game, I believe. The Jets had 9 less first downs. The reason the Browns lost was they didn't close the deal. They allowed the Jets to drop 17 points in the fourth quarter. That's going to lose you the game. And that's what I'm saying. The secondary at the end really wasn't playing a lot of press coverage. They were allowing guys to get open. They basically saw guys. They let guys get open. They had blown coverages. Then Flacco tore them apart. Flacco does what he does. Flacco, he's similar to Eli. They'll have a bad whole game, and then fourth quarter come, they turn into the best quarterback in the league. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. And Flacco threw 4 TDs, had no picks. So, The Browns weren't able to stop a lot of the passes. They let a lot of passes deep. They had blown coverages. So that's the reason why the Browns lost the game, because situational football. I keep telling you, these coaches, they don't know how to coach in situational football. But the Browns lost because of the secondary and, not getting to Joe Flacco late. Now, the next game we have was Washington and Detroit. I told everybody about the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are for real. They finally have a culture that is tough. They don't have that same old Lions culture where, oh, we got a new coach, we're just going to get by. No. This coaching staff with Deuce Staley and Aaron Glenn is going to be giving guys trouble the whole year. Now, the Lions put up 22 points in the first half. Washington didn't. Washington roared back with 15 in the third quarter. Lions scored a touchdown. They scored 12 in the fourth quarter. Lions scored another touchdown to close the game. 36-27 is your score. Total yards, Lions have 425 to their 396. Rushing the ball, Lions ran the ball well. The Commanders really couldn't get the run going like that because that front seven for the Lions is legit. They were stopping Gibson a lot of times, and they were getting the Wentz. Wentz turned back into the old Wentz. I keep telling y'all, Wentz is not that guy. He's going to show you a good and bad Wentz all in the same game. Now, third down efficiency, Washington was 47%. Okay. The Lions were 31%. The Lions got to clean up. Listen, the reason third downs are so key, when you get to a big game where you need to win, you got to get that third down going. Because if you can't get no third downs going, you're going to put pressure on your defense. You're going to put pressure on your special teams. And it's going to be a cause of disaster. It's going to be a disaster if you don't do what you got to do. Trust me. And that's what I try to stress to people, and the Lions did good on the run and they did it good on the ground. Sacks allowed. Lost this game really. The Commanders had an interception thrown. They won the time of possession, 32 minutes and 3 seconds to 27 minutes and 57 seconds. This was actually a good game. There was only 3 penalties total combined for both teams. So this was a good, clean game. Like I said, the Lions closed at the end. This is what the Lions did. Yeah, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, yes, sir. C-Pen, yes, sir. The guy really balled out. Oh yeah, Amari Cooper, yeah, on the last game, yeah, he did. The hands team, yeah. But Amari, we already know about Amari. Amari Bensoff. What up, AB? Yeah, they don't have a pass rusher at all. That's the problem. Ravens didn't get a pass rusher. They got a secondary, but you ain't got no pass rusher. So who gonna get to the quarterback? Yeah, Kyle Hamilton got exposed, but yeah, Jared Goff looked good because they got a good receiving core. The Lions have a good team, guys. And the Lions were able to close. They were able to close the deal. They were able to get guys in position, and they did their job. Exactly. So now that's why the Lions won. They closed the deal. They did their thing down the stretch. They closed. Now, the Indianapolis Colts, Jacksonville Jaguars. I told you guys, Jacksonville Jaguars are for real. They should have won last week. However, their secondary was not that good. Matt Ryan got exposed yesterday. He's done. I don't see Matt Ryan recovering like that after this game. They were 2 of 10 on third downs. The Jaguars were 6-15, which isn't good either. But they were doing well as far as they got 21 first downs compared to the Colts 9. Let that sink in. 21 first down to the Colts 9. The Colts only had 9 first downs. That means they were 3 and out all day. Matt Ryan was getting sacked. He was getting pressured. He threw interceptions. The penalties were about the same. Time of possession, the Jaguars won it. Like they had 38 minutes. They had 38 minutes and 15 seconds. You know, they won the time of possession by 16 minutes and 70 seconds. They dominated the Colts. Right, Daryl Clark. DC Daryl Clark in the house. Philly, baby. Yeah, that's been the theme. It's been comebacks and near comebacks. Yeah, the Colts did get dog walked, but the Colts got exposed, Skippy Tone. They basically got exposed in the first game against the Texans. They not ready. Matt Ryan is not that guy. And then Michael Pittman Jr. was hurt yesterday, so that also had a big deal to do because Michael Pittman Jr. is basically their starter on offense, their fire starter. He gets things going. He said, I'll play QB for the Vegas Raiders. Right. Yeah, they're wasting Jonathan Taylor. Exactly. C-Pen said something key. The Jaguars left 21 points on the board due to drops in the end zone last week. Exactly. So, guys, the Jaguars won this game because they dominated offensively, defensively, and special teams-wise. They won all 3 facets of the game. They controlled the clock. They controlled the game. They got 21 first downs. Their defense is hellacious. That number 44 from Georgia, he's a dog. He's a dog out there. The guy in Detroit is more fundamentally sound, but the guy in Jacksonville is more athletic and more of a physical specimen. So that game there, the Jaguars, like I said, don't be surprised if the Jaguars win the AFC South. I could see them beating the Titans and the Texans. Like, I believe they could beat all of these teams. Now, the next game, the screw job game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New Orleans Saints. If you've seen the cover of the picture, you saw what happened yesterday. Look, I'm going to explain to you what happened. Everybody keeps saying Brady did this. Everybody's saying Marshawn did this. No, this is what happened. Bruce Arians is the reason that game got out of hand. Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians came to the sideline. He was talking trash to Marshawn Lattimore. Marshawn Lattimore wasn't paying him no attention. He was talking to the ref about a play where he was getting held or pulled. Bruce Arians started talking trash to him. So he basically said, man, F you, you a bum, and pointed at Brady and said, Brady, you a bum too. Brady turned around and said, F you, and that's when they got in each other's face. Leonard Fournette saw a defender going to his quarterback. He did what he was supposed to do, which is protect his quarterback. So everybody talking about Fournette should have got, no, Fournette was in the right. He did what I would have done. If you would have got in my quarterback face, I would have fought you. He pushed Marshawn. Marshawn pushed him. A Saints player came to diffuse the situation. Mike Evans should be suspended for 2 games. He ran from the sideline because Marshawn Lattimore got in his head the past 3-4 years He ran over there and pushed Marshawn Lattimore for no reason. He had nothing to do with it. The Saints player came and grabbed him. Marshawn got up and whipped the Saints player, dumped his ass on his head. They dumped him on his back, and they started going in. Yes, he did a cheap shot, yes, and still got put on his ass. Yes. Yes, he did. Oh, of course Shannon gonna do that. I'm gonna get to Shannon in a minute. Now, Mike Evans should have been suspended. Mike Evans should have got kicked out the game. Marshawn Lattimore should have stayed in the game. Marshawn Lattimore did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. So for people to say Marshawn did what he was supposed to do. He was fine. Now, the game in the first half, the Saints were winning 3-0. Tom Brady stunk up the joint. The pass rush was getting to him. Marshawn Lattimore, those corners, Tyrann Mathieu. It's funny how Tyrann Mathieu looks way better with New Orleans than he did with Kansas City. It's crazy. I guess it's the philosophy. But defensively, they were shutting them down. Buccaneers defense was shutting them down too. So you had a clash of both defenses holding court, holding serve. Both defenses get an A+, especially how they played. Both defenses were physical. They were getting to the ball carriers. The Saints were hurting because Alvin Kamara did not play. If Alvin Kamara would have played, this would have changed the whole outlook of the game. Now, in the second half, this is when it gets very dicey. The Bucs got 3 points. Now, going into the fourth quarter, the Buccaneers got saved by a penalty where the tight end was hit. They called a personal foul or whatever on hitting the tight end. Yeah, Mike deserved to get suspended. He should have got suspended for 2 games because he could have injured Marshawn Lattimore and ended his season with that bullshit because he mad because he got shut down. He should have got suspended 2 games. Now, yeah, the Bucs receiving core are trash. They are not good. That's why I kept telling everybody, yeah, receivers were dropping balls on both sides. Jameis was trying to get the ball to guys. Guys was dropping the ball. The penalty that saved the Bucs was that play on against the tight end. And then it was another play they said was a penalty. It was like ghost penalties at the end. So the Bucs team, I told you guys coming into the year, I do not like this Bucs team. The defense surprised me. The defense has stepped up. They've shown that they can play. I do not like our run defense. The Saints didn't have, if they had Kamara yesterday, that could have hurt us. Because against Dallas, we got lucky because Dallas took the foot off the gas of giving Zeke the ball and giving Pollard the ball, which they should have just kept giving them the ball. That's what they should have done, was kept giving them the ball. The run defense is my problem. Offensively, the receivers are not good. Julio Jones, he's done. He's done. He can't get off press coverage. He can't run his routes right. If he gets bumped, he's about to fall over. It was terrible. Yeah, we already know C-Pen. I already know the NFL, but Mike Evans should have got 2 games. Mike Evans started that. He escalated that. Mike Evans should have got suspended 2 games. I'm sticking by it. The Bucs got saved by the refs. Tom Brady got saved by the refs and he got saved by the defense. If the defense didn't come up with those picks on Jameis, it would have been a long game. Jameis Winston also has to learn you can't stare down your receivers. Can't stare them down. And then to the tight end, he threw the ball. Him and the tight end had a miscommunication. I was thinking the tight end was supposed to go on a deep pass. Jameis got to lay that ball out there. Even if you're going to take a hit, you got to lay that ball out there. Now, third downs, both teams was bad. The Buccaneers rushing game was terrible. The Saints outrushed them. The Saints had more yards than them, and the Saints controlled the ball by a minute over them, or less than a minute. But the fumbles and then the interceptions, Mark Ingram, I believe, fumbled. If I'm not mistaken, Mark Ingram fumbled, I believe, in this game. He fumbled. Like the fumbles early on, that's what stopped the Saints. The Saints were driving the ball, and they fumbled. Exactly. Mike Thomas was getting open. Jameis was missing him. So Jameis has got to look at where his guys are at. You had Michael Thomas open like a lot of times yesterday. You weren't getting him the ball. Yeah, Jones didn't play. But I think Ingram fumbled. The Saints were moving the ball, and then you had the fumbles, and then you had the stops. You know, Jameis was not hitting guys correctly. So, you know, this is a learning experience. It's only the second game. Jameis could get himself back right. Go watch some film. See what you could do better. And the Saints will be all right. The Saints really didn't play that bad of a game yesterday. They played good as far as controlling the game. They just had those turnovers. If you clean up them turnovers, the Saints win this game. If the Saints don't have them turnovers, the fumbles or the interceptions, they win this game. They out-physicaled the Bucs. The Bucs defense played well against the pass, but against the run, they were struggling a little bit. And that's something that's concerning because when it gets to December, it gets to January, the game is going to be in between the lines where you got it between the A-B gap. And if you're not able to stop that, that's going to hurt you. Yeah, the offense got to step up. The Saints had 18 first downs to our 13. The penalties were even. Bucs had 8, Saints had 9. The reason this game was lost was because the fumbles for the Saints and the interceptions thrown. The Bucs had one big turnover late, but it was a fumble, but the Saints turned the ball over more. The Bucs only won by 10 points. They only won by 10. So if the Bucs are happy about this performance, they need to slap themselves. And Devin White said this at the end of the game.
You guys so on fire with that 5 turnover.
What's up, T?
Why were you guys so on fire with that 5 turnovers today for this defense?
Hey, man, when Jameis left our team, everybody know what he did that last year. And we feel like we had a great defense then. And, he threw 30 picks, and we just knew he would give us the ball. We knew the running backs, cough it up. And that's something we came in talking about. We want 30 turnovers as a ball club ourselves. So this just was another game to go attack the ball.
Now, that's cool what Devin White said, but Devin White, you were wrong for what you said. And this is why we can never grow within an NFL as black execs or potentially be black owners because we got this coonery going on. You should not have said that, because now you basically fed into the narrative that the media is going to spin. I'm disappointed in Devin White. He may never see my video, but dog, that was tasteless. I lost a lot of respect for you. That was very tasteless. You already know the rap that Jameis Winston gets, and for you to say that was very disrespectful. I don't wish nothing bad on you. I just hope you wake up one day and see that was messed up. Your offense didn't play well, Devin. So I don't know why you were bragging. You guys should have lost the game because y'all got saved by the refs. Y'all did. If the refs didn't step in, y'all would have lost the game. Saints was kicking y'all ass the whole game. And then for them to throw Marshawn out the game, which was tasteless as well, you guys survived because that took away the general of that defense. What's up, T? Detroit T. What's up, Joe Cool? Detroit T. Detroit, I like to give a shout out to my Detroit T players. Joe Cool, the coolest one. Always running his mouth. And that was tasteless. I did not like what he said. That was very disrespectful. And now you're going to feed the narrative of the media. And these players don't understand that. But like I said, Derek Brooks was a coon, so Devin White fits that bill as well. He's another coon. So I guess we got two coons that were great linebackers. Great linebackers. He's a great linebacker, probably the best in the league, but he's a coon. That was very coonish of him to say. Because now you fall in the line of what these whites wanted you to say. And they basically put a battery in your back, which was Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians really runs the team. That's why he was on the sideline, because he's really the coach. He's really the coach of the team. Todd Bowles is just the face that try to say we gave a black guy the job. No, he's the token Negro. We already know what's going on. He the token Negro. Bruce Arians is coaching from the top of the whole thing. We already know what's going on. We're not stupid. We see through that shit. But that's the reason why the Saints lost, was because of the turnovers, bad third down, and they gave up 17 points in the fourth quarter. So, I wouldn't doubt it, Daryl Clark. I wouldn't doubt it, but that was very disrespectful to Devin White. I don't respect him. I lost respect for Devin White. Great linebacker, but he's a coon just like Derek Brooks was. Both coons. Both of them. Sambos. Not Uncle Tom's. Don't use Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom was for the black people. Uncle Tom was not the bad guy. Do your history on Uncle Tom. These dudes are Sambos and coons, man. They all together. Now we got the Carolina Panthers and the New York Giants. New York Giants have been surprisingly good, but they played the tight ends. They played two inept quarterbacks. So we don't know how great the Giants are. Now, the Giants scored 6 in the first quarter. The Panthers scored 6 in the second. It was a tie game in the third. They both got 7. Fourth quarter, Panthers only had 3. Giants had 6, ultimately winning 19-16. Daniel Jones has been very good because they're limiting Daniel Jones controlling the pocket. They're limiting him having the ball in his hand late in the games. Both teams ran the ball well yesterday. The Panthers had 146 rushing yards. Giants had 103. First downs, they were tied. Third down efficiency. We had the Panthers were 2 of 12, which is 17%. And the Giants were 6 of 18, which is 33%. Wasn't good at all. The reason that the Panthers lost this game was because of 2 fumbles lost. I think Baker fumbled it trying to get the snap, and somebody else fumbled. So you had 2 fumbles lost. Time of possession, the Giants won 30. They had 35 minutes and 57 seconds to the Panthers 24 minutes and 3 seconds, which was 11 minute and 48 second difference. Well, Tony doesn't get that many touches, Philip, is because of your offense. This is basically the Patriots' offense. They like to spread the ball around. They don't like to focus on one guy. They love to move the ball everywhere. What up, Malik? What up, Trap Junkie? They basically love to move the ball around. They don't like to focus on one guy. That's the Patriots' way, supposedly. But this game was lost because Baker couldn't close the deal down the stretch. Both defenses played a hell of a game. Giants defense is legit. The Panthers defense is legit. You just had Baker Mayfield not being able to close the deal, which we've seen this in Cleveland. All he's doing is showing us Cleveland. Now, Matt Rule has been terrible. He should have got fired last year. He should have got fired the year when Teddy Bridgewater, when they tried to dump everything on Teddy Bridgewater. I heard that Tony don't practice hard. That's another reason, allegedly. Yeah, that could do it too, C-Pen. You know that I won't put that past. Just like I learned about Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas was an asshole. He was an asshole. He was a guy who didn't practice or study. Hell of a player, but he was a cancer. Earl Thomas was like that at Texas. He was like that at Seattle. So I think it might be true. It might be some validity to that. We don't know though. We don't know. We got to wait and see. You ain't had to wish that on Lance. I didn't wish nothing on Lance, Trap Junkie. What are you talking about? I didn't wish nothing on Lance. That was the San Francisco 49ers organization, media, fans. Their karma wished that on Lance. Now they got what they want. Jimmy G to start. They're not going to do anything. Jimmy G is not going to take them nowhere. Everybody got the game plan on Jimmy G. It's not going to be hard to stop them. But no, I don't agree with that. I never wish nothing on him. The Ravens lost because their defensive coordinator decided to play his guys 7 to 10 yards off of 2 of the fastest, most lethalest receivers right now in the game. That could be probably the best tandem we've seen in a while with Tyreek Hill and Waddle. You don't give a guy who runs 4.3 and 4.4 speed 7 to 10 yards without putting hands on them. That's why the Ravens lost. Their defense choked. Okay, you can agree with that about Earl? Yeah. So we dodged the bullet because we were right. We were about to trade for Earl Thomas right before he got hurt. Yeah, you did. Earl Thomas would have messed the Chiefs up. Y'all would have got messed up. Him and Eric Bieniemy probably would have threw hands because Eric Bieniemy to me is y'all general on that team. He's the one who get everybody in line because Andy Reid is too damn soft. He ain't going to say shit. He's more of a politician. He going to go around the situation instead of attack it head on. Right, Mello. That's basically what's going to happen to the Niners. No, you good, Trap Junkie. You good. Well, see, Daryl Clark, Marcus Peters can't play man. See, Marcus Peters is a zone corner. When you try to put him in a man coverage and you don't have your safeties playing deep enough, you're going to get burnt. It looked like they were running a cover 3 or cover 1. which killed them. But the reason that the Panthers lost this game is Baker couldn't close. Also, the turnovers. They had 2 fumbles. That really hurt them. And in the time of possession, they didn't have the ball that much because they were inefficient on third downs. So that's why the Panthers lost. And Matt Rule is just not a good coach. He's trash. Excuse me. It doesn't matter if Baker's back there, Teddy Bridgewater, whoever. The Panthers are going to lose because Matt Rule doesn't know, his team doesn't know how to finish the game or close the game. But defensively, the Panthers are legit. The Giants, they're legit. So now the next game was New England and the Steelers. The New England Patriots just own the Steelers, man. They just play the Steelers well. They play the Steelers very well. You know, Mac Jones was terrible yesterday. He's not a great quarterback. To me, he's not a quarterback that's going to get you to the Super Bowl. Mac Jones is like tuna fish. They have to have a great team around them or a good team around them to carry them. Their team has got to carry them. They can't carry the team. They can't lift the team. They don't have no rub-off effect. But yesterday, they got some plays downfield. Mac threw a play where the receiver had to adjust and had to stop and jump over the guy to get the ball because Mac Jones has a noodle arm. So you got 252 passing yards. The Steelers really lost this game because they got Mitch Trubisky at quarterback. I watched it yesterday. Mitch Trubisky is terrible. They need to go to Kenny Pickett. Just go to the kid because they only lost this game because Mitch Trubisky couldn't make the throws at all. He can't make the throws. Everything else, they were fine. They were fine. They did fumble the ball. Trubisky did throw a pick. First downs were about even. Third down efficiency, 8 of 15 to their 9 of 17. Patriots were 9 of 17, which was 53%. Steelers were 8 of 15, which was 53%. So they were about even. So, but the Steelers need another quarterback. They need another quarterback. No, Mac Jones is trash, dog. Yes, Mitch blew the game. That's why they lost. Mitch Trubisky blew this game. He can't make the throws. He's not good in the clutch. No, he don't. Mac don't have that it factor at all. Yeah, Aguilar. Yeah. Yeah, but CC Penn, that's Nelson Aguilar. He can catch the tough catches. His problem is he can't catch the easy catches. Like the ball thrown in the bread basket, he can't catch that. He'll drop them more often than none. Yeah, Mitch was terrible. That's why the Steelers lost. Other than that, the Steelers were shutting the Patriots down. They were whooping the Patriots' ass the whole game. The Patriots' defense really wasn't doing nothing impressive. Mitch Trubisky just can't throw. He's just terrible. Yeah, Kenny Pickett should start. I agree with him. I agree with them. Trubisky is the reason this team is too talented to not go to the playoffs. They're too talented. This Steeler team, their defense is good. Even without TJ Watt, their defense played great. I had to tell Trey yesterday, like, dog, what are you talking about? The defense showed up. The problem is Mitch Trubisky is like T said, ass water. Ass wata. He's ass wata. That's what Trubisky equals, is ass water. And that's what he does. The guy's terrible. Like, the guy should have been out the league, but because he's white, he gets another chance. He gets to get recycled. Like all of them do. Like all of them do. like all of them do. He said he diarrhea in yellow pea water. Yep, exactly, C-Pen. You're absolutely right. The same offense from last year, nothing but short routes and screens in the passing game. Can't move anything downfield. C-Pen is exactly correct, and that's my assessment. The Steelers lost this game because Mitch Trubisky can't make the throws. If Trubisky could make the throws, they would have won this game by 2 touchdowns. The Patriots aren't good. I see the Dolphins. I see the Bills mopping the floor with them when they play. I don't see them competing. I think the Patriots might not make the playoffs. They do not look good. They don't look good at all. They look terrible. They looked terrible last week. Exactly, T. They handcuffing Tomlin. Right. No, Big Ben, I think a losing season, I think he had a couple, but majority, Big Ben had a great record. Big Ben was great in the fourth quarter. That's why Big Ben was so great, because he could keep the game close. Then the fourth quarter come, he just tear it open. He just ball out. Like he was clutch. Like, dude's a scumbag off the field, but on the field, he's a Hall of Famer, first ballot, great quarterback. He was a great hell of a quarterback. So now, who do we got next? We have Atlanta and the LA Rams. The LA Rams won this convincingly. I'm not going to get into this game. Atlanta needs to go to Corral. They need to go to the rookie quarterback. Mariota is terrible. He can't make the throws deep. He can't close the game. Mariota had a problem like that in college. He couldn't close. But I'm not going to get into that game. The Rams just dominated both sides of the ball. Jalen Ramsey was getting abused yesterday by London. The rookie receiver London for Atlanta was killing him. Shout out to London. But the Falcons were coming back. They got a block punt, scored a touchdown. The Rams, Matt Stafford and the Rams do not look good. Matt Stafford is not going to, he's done. Matt Stafford's done. Like I don't see the Rams repeating if he keeps playing the way he's playing. Cooper Kupp fumbled the ball, which is a rare fumble. That doesn't normally happen, but the Falcons were getting dominated for most of this game. They started coming back late, but the Rams weren't in jeopardy. They weren't in jeopardy. Seattle and San Fran. Seattle turned into the old Seattle. Everybody got their wish. San Francisco fans, the media. Trey Lance is out for the season. He got hurt. He didn't really slide right. But they got their wish. They didn't want him at quarterback. They basically, he's a bust. He's a bust. Trey Lance is a bust. So we're going to put that on record. All the San Fran and media is right. Trey Lance is a bust. Jimmy G is the greatest quarterback ever. Is the greatest quarterback ever. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, you guys got your wish. The Niners dominated this game, which they were going to dominate anyway with Trey Lance in there. Seahawks are just basically tanking to get a better quarterback next year. That's all they're doing. But you got your wish. You got your wish. San Francisco. Trey Lance is a bust. That's what you guys keep telling me, which I don't know how you're a bust and you never started before, but we're going to say he's a bust because that's the way the media and everybody does. The media and everybody condemned this kid wrongfully, and you guys got your wish. He's hurt for the season. So now, San Francisco, we're going to see what you do with Jimmy G. I don't want to hear no excuses when you bums lose. When you bums lose, I don't want to hear no, oh man, they cheated us. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear no excuses. Y'all better win this year. Y'all better win the Super Bowl. Because if y'all don't win the Super Bowl, I don't want to hear shit. You guys are Super Bowl and bust. So you guys got what you wanted. Trey Lance is hurt. And yes, C-Pen, they are using Kyle Pitts wrong. Exactly. They are. Yeah, Desmond Ridder. Yeah, he ought to start. Desmond Ridder will open that offense up more than Mariota. Yep, Crapford. Exactly. They got their runs. They got their Russ revenge. They're good. Yeah, F the media and the fake Niner fans. I wanted Trey Lance. I wanted Trey Lance. I wanted him to play too. But like I said, not you, Mello, but everybody, like Chance and the whole fan base, they wish this to happen. They were dogging this kid out. They were tearing this kid down before he actually got a chance to have a full season. Hey, this is on you. I want to see what you Niners do. When you guys choke again with Jimmy G, I don't want to hear it. When y'all choke again with Kyle Shanahan, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear the bullshit. So it's no more excuses. The Niners are under a microscope, and I'm going to destroy their ass every Sunday or every Monday whenever they play if they don't perform. That's what I'm gonna do. Cause this kid, yeah, exactly. They wanted Mac Jones. They wanted their white quarterback, Mac Jones. Mac Jones is a bum. Okay, but we'll let you have your moment. You guys, y'all win. Trey Lance out for the season. Y'all win. Chance and all the all these people, he's out. So y'all happy. So we're gonna see what Jimmy G do. If Jimmy G choke again, I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear you guys' excuses. I don't want to hear it. Y'all will be fine, Mello. Like the system y'all run, y'all could go get a running back off the street. He'll average 4 or 5 yards a pop. That's the Shanahan system. The zone scheme did. What up, Feli Speaks? Yep. Exactly, one true. They got what they wanted. Now, Cincinnati and Dallas. This is another game where an overrated quarterback got exposed. Joe Burrow's supposed to be this great quarterback. He got outplayed. Joe Burrow, this is why they lost. They weren't running the ball. Look how many carries. Mixon had 19 carries. Joe Burrow attempted to throw the ball 36 times. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good at all. You didn't cover your quarterback. Their offensive line is trash. They couldn't protect them. Micah Parsons in that defense, Deontay Fowler, our cousin, was out there destroying them. What's up, Outlaw? Oh, yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, Joe Burrow has been the most overrated quarterback this year, and he gets no blame. They blame everybody else but him. But if somebody else have a bad game, like if Lamar would have had a bad game yesterday, they would have crushed Lamar. They couldn't crush Lamar today because he did his job. The defense got exposed. Lamar did his job. He threw 3 touchdowns and scored 1 with his legs. Lamar Jackson did his job. But you guys, the media, don't want to hold Joe Burrow accountable. But get this. It's not Joe Burrow's fault why the Bengals are losing. The Bengals are losing because they can't run the ball. They do not run the ball, and their offensive line is overrated. Their offensive line can't protect nothing. They can't protect nothing. They can't protect anything. Defensively, they did good because Dallas offense sucked. But you know what Dallas did? They ran the goddamn ball, which we've been telling Kellen Moore to do since week 1. Run the ball. Run the ball. When in doubt, run the ball. You got Zeke and you got Pollard. You got 2 good backs. Run the ball. Because you know what it does? It takes pressure off your quarterback. It takes pressure off of your defense. You run the ball. I'm glad the Bengals look like it right now. All of them bum fans talking all summer long on social media like they really about to take over the AFC. Nope, y'all still the same bums. Facts. Facts, C-Pen. They lied about how they improved the offensive line. Yes, they did. So they lost this game because they didn't run the ball. They couldn't protect Burrow. Burrow was getting destroyed yesterday. He got destroyed. He got destroyed. 3rd down, he was 6 of 17, which isn't good or bad, but it's just okay. That's 35%. That's terrible. 6 of 17. And then they allowed all these sacks. It's crazy. It's crazy. They didn't hold their end of the bargain. Joe Burrow was throwing the ball too much and he was getting sprayed. The coach didn't protect him, but he played terrible. Joe played like trash the past 2 weeks, and it's because he didn't have any preseason and he had that surgery on, I think, his spleen or something. He had surgery, so he's still trying to get into it. So what do? You run the ball. You run the ball to help him get acclimated back into the game. And this is why I'm done with these coaches. I'm done with this play calling. They don't run the ball anymore, and that's why Joe Burrow is getting sprayed. Exactly. Joe Mixon got to get the ball. I don't understand why Joe doesn't get the ball. If you get Joe Mixon involved, the Bengals would have been 2-0 right now. They would have been 2-0 if they would have ran the ball, because that takes pressure off your defense. That takes pressure off your quarterback. But they didn't get the memo. Dallas did what they should have did in week 1. Run the goddamn ball. Kellen Moore is the most dumbest coordinator in the world. He's so stupid. You had a chance to win game 1 of the season, but you want to throw the ball all day. Got your quarterback hurt. Now this week you want to run the ball. Told you. Dallas Cowboys is an oxymoron. Exactly. You got Mixon, but don't run the ball. Exactly, T. I don't get it. But the Cowboys play great. Cowboys defense is legit. Trayvon Diggs, great 3rd down stop on the Bengals when the Bengals were driving to force the punt. The defense played their ass off, but to me, it was more about the Bengals being that bad offensively and not running the ball. Listen, when you go against a great pass rush, if you run the ball through the A gap, B gap, if you keep running the ball, you run offensive stretch plays, that tires that pass rush down. It slows the pass rush down. It slows it down. So when you slow the pass rush down, you could capitalize. You could dominate now. You could do play action. You could do waggles. You can throw the ball now later down the stretch of the game because the defense is tired from all that running. They tired because them big uglies them put all that 300 and some pound on their ass, because you know these linemen, these DNs, these pass rushers, they're small. They're small as hell. So that's why you run the ball. Right, the run opens up the pass. It keeps your defense and your offense moving. But this was a terrible game for Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has not looked good since he got that surgery. He's been terrible. Now, Houston and Denver, Russell Wilson played like shit. Like, Russell Wilson was trash. I don't think the Broncos going to win this division. I think the Broncos, it's the Chiefs division to lose to me. Shout out to CPN, but I believe the Chiefs are going to win this division. They're going to win this division because the Chargers got a dumbass coach. The Broncos are trash. Like, they can't do anything on the offense. Like, they were terrible. Then they barely ran the ball. I mean, yesterday, if it wasn't for their running game with Gordon and Williams, they were in trouble. But running the ball, they did well. They can't pass the ball. They were 3 of 12. And the only reason they lost is because the Texans were just as worse. The Texans were worse than them. The Texans were worse. That's the only reason they won the game. Thanks, Outlaw. Is Russ done? I don't know, dog. Russ is... I don't know, T. He might be. Russ looked it terrible. But the West, it's the Chiefs to lose. The Raiders, they can't close the deal, and they don't have a quarterback who can get those weapons the ball consistently. That's why I said before the season, I still had the Chiefs number 2. But now I got to put the Chiefs number 1 because I had to, before the season, I picked the Chiefs to be number 2 in the division. They're number 1 right now. Russ is done, dog. He didn't look good. He might get better during the season, but the only reason they won is because of the defense. The Broncos' defense is legit, and the Texans are just trash. So the Chargers, to me, is probably the second best team in this division. I got the Chiefs now and the Chargers. The Chiefs and the Chargers are the 2 best teams in this division. And to me, I think the Chargers are a little better than the Chiefs, but they don't have a coach. Their coach is dumber than Andy Reid. He's dumber than Andy Reid. Yeah, they should have played preseason. I agree. They're rusty. Yeah, receivers were dropping the ball too, AB. I agree, but Russ was looking bad out there too. He was throwing some overthrows, throwing the ball in the dirt. Russ played terrible yesterday. Played terrible. Yeah, let Russ cook. Yeah, it's dead. And they're running the same playbook they ran in Seattle. Tyler Lockett exposed that week 1. We'll see, AB, but the only reason the Broncos won this game is because the Texans were worse. Their offense is terrible. The Texans might not win a game this year, dog. I don't know if they're going to win a game this year. They don't look good at all. But the Broncos, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see by week 8 or week 10. We'll see who's real and who's not. Yeah, T, the Raiders, they had a lead yesterday. Matter of fact, we're going to talk about that game. Arizona and let's go to that game. That game, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is the goddamn truth. Kyler Murray put this team on his back. In the 4th quarter, he dropped 16 points. 16 points. But the Raiders lost this game. The Raiders down the stretch could not finish the deal. Derek Carr was terrible down the stretch. then the Raiders can't run the ball. The Raiders can't run the ball. The Raiders can't run the ball. That's why the Raiders lost this game. They couldn't run the ball down the stretch. Their defense was on the field too long. Kyler Murray just said, F the playbook. That shit ain't working. Him and Cliff Kingsbury are going to be at each other's throat this year. Kyler's going to mess around and put hands on that white boy. Him and Cliff Kingsbury do not get along. They do not get along. And it's evident on the sideline. They were going at it. Kyler Murray and him were coming to blows on the sideline because Cliff Kingsbury play calling is trash. Trash. If it wasn't for Kyler Murray, and that running game started coming alive, they were done. They were done. What's up, Nerdy Blue? They were done. They were done. Kyler Murray saved the Cardinals. Saved them. Saved the Cardinals. And Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, now you see why the Ravens didn't bring him back. He can't run routes. He can't run routes. He caught a big catch down the stretch. He caught the ball down the stretch, but he's not good. They need DeAndre Hopkins back. AJ Green is done. And the Raiders, they are wasting Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams did his thing in this game, but the Raiders lost because they couldn't run the ball. They could not run the ball at all. Like, they were only 80 yards rushing. Like, dog, Josh Jacobs was only averaging 4 yards a pop. And he only got 19 carries. You let Derek Carr throw almost 40 times, dog, you're going to lose. If Derek Carr throws over 35 times a game or 30 times a game, you're going to lose. He's not that type of quarterback. He's like Dak Prescott. They need a running game to make them. They can't carry the team. And they also lost in overtime. In overtime, they lost because the guy fumbled the ball. Yeah. Exactly, C-Pen, but Kyler got to study. Kyler saved it. Kyler and Cliff Kingsbury were going at it. I don't know if they're gonna last the whole season, dog. Kyler gonna end up choking the shit out of Cliff Kingsbury. Kyler down the stretch in the fourth quarter put on one of the amazing. It was Tua yesterday's fourth quarter, then it was Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray had the second best performance yesterday in the fourth quarter of the season. He balled out. Kyler showed you I can quarterback. And this is what I told Chance. Kyler is not the problem. The problem is you have a coach who wants to bang European models all day and fly them into a game instead of study the game plan. No, Cliff Kingsbury needs to study. Cliff been trash. Since Texas Tech, he would always lose his final 6 games at college. They would go like 2-4 the last 6 games at Texas Tech. That's facts. Guess what, Melo? He brought it to the Arizona Cardinals. Now they start off fast and then they choke. Now they're starting off slow because everybody's figured out Cliff Kingsbury bullshit play calling. Exactly. Devontae hardly got any looks in the second half. Devontae didn't get any looks at all. In the second half, the Raiders only scored a total of 3 points. 3 points. 3 points. That's all they scored was 3 points. That's it. 3 points. That's it. 3 points. That's all they scored. First quarter, 7 points. Second quarter, 13. So the Raiders couldn't close. They couldn't close. Of course, you support Mac Jones and Tua because Shannon Sharp's a coon. We know Shannon Sharp is a coon. What's up, Mr. X? Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming by yesterday to the stream. Yeah, Josh McDaniels looking bad. Josh McDaniels lost his game for him because he didn't utilize the running game. This was Josh McDaniels' problem when he was coaching Denver. He couldn't run the ball. He was too busy trying to throw the damn ball instead of running the ball. Now, that's why they lost this game. Arizona came back. The Raiders couldn't close. The Raiders not looking good. Right now, I think the Chiefs are going to win that division. The Chiefs are going to win the AFC West. It's not even going to be close. The Chiefs or the Chargers are the best team in this division. Now the Green Bay Fudge Packers. This game was, from the start, it was over. From the start, it was over. They screwed the Bears early on. Once they screwed the Bears, it was done. Dog, the Bears, Justin Fields needs to go to another team. This team is not going to utilize Justin Fields. They're not going to help Justin Fields. The Bears are trash as an offense. They've always been trash. The Packers yesterday ran the ball more. They kept the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands. They ran the ball. They had the ball for like 37 minutes and 15 seconds compared to the Bears' 22 minutes and 45 seconds. This game was trash last night. We knew what was going on. They weren't going to let Aaron Rodgers go 0-2. We knew that. They weren't going to let Aaron Rodgers go 0-2. The Bears, they called all these penalties on the Bears. Ghost flags everywhere, and the Packers just got into a rhythm, blew them out the water, blew them out the water. So blew them out the water. So this wasn't a game. Like, this was a waste of time. So y'all can look at it for what you want to, but the Packers dominated because the Bears can't do nothing. You won, T. You won so far. Yeah. So far, T is leading. He's 29-1. S Young is 15-14-1. One True is 13-16-1. Scrub is 15-14-1, and I'm 15-14-1. So far, T is winning so far. Scrub basically thought I didn't count what I was supposed to count, so I had to go through the thing again with Scrub game by game, week 1, and showed him that the standings are correct. So Scrub is good now. At first, he had an issue, but we solved the issue. Fields, it depends though. If Matt Rule is there, then yeah, he wouldn't be. Fields needs a real offensive coordinator. Like, he needs a real coach and offensive coordinator. I think Fields would do good with the LA Rams. I think the LA Rams would be a good fit for Justin Fields. Because Matt Stafford is terrible. Matt Stafford has looked like complete ass water the past 2 weeks. So I think he would look good there. Why the media ain't show Duval no love today? Because they don't care. Duval is not in their realm. It's not in their it's not in their vision. They don't care about that. They only care about the Cowboys and Tom Brady, and they don't care. No, it wasn't no regular season Rodgers. Actually, it was Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones was the reason they won yesterday. Aaron Jones was just killing the Bears. And then the refs stepped in and screwed the Bears some more, and the Packers won. Yeah, Carolina, no, I don't agree with that either, C-Pen. I would have him go to the Rams. LA Rams would be perfect for Justin Fields. He would have a better offense, and that offense that McVay runs is sort of similar to the offense he ran at Ohio State. So I would put him there, or I would put him he can go to trying to think. That's really it so far. The Jets, he could go to the Jets. I think he'll be perfect for the Jets in the long term because Flacco's not going to be there that much longer. But yesterday was comeback week. Matt Rule should have been fired 2 years ago. I mean, a year ago. He should have been fired a year ago. He's terrible. He cost them that game near the end. But yesterday was basically comeback central. Like, it was just comeback day. But to me, the NFL's doing this so they can keep everybody attention to the league, to sell tickets and all that stuff. So we know what it is. We definitely know what it is. You know, it's no surprise that we see what's going on. So it ain't no surprise that we see what's going on. Regular season. So, but that's my recap of the NFL games yesterday. So you got Monday Night Football with Jose Rodriguez, Seattle Seahawks Jose Rodriguez tonight on his channel. I don't know if I'll be present because I got things to do today. So I'll see if I'll probably stop by and say what up to everybody, then bounce. But he's having he's hosting Monday night tonight. Next Monday, Monday Night Football will be on this channel next Monday. I got talking about tonight. I got Buffalo beating the Titans, and I got Philly beating Minnesota tonight. Yeah, I got Buffalo and Philly tonight. Me too, C-Pen. That's who I got, DC. I picked them before the season started. We should have drafted him, even though I wanted Trevor Lawrence first and Justin Fields. You should have drafted either or, Outlaw, but Trevor was gone, and you guys should have got Justin Fields. Y'all should have never got no Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's trash. He was trash at BYU. He's just a white boy who got an arm. Like, he can throw it deep, but he's not accurate like that. He wasn't like that at BYU. He was overrated. They just wanted to try to keep the white boy prevalent and relevant in the game of football. But that's what I got. And, you know, it's gonna be on Seattle Seahawks Jose's. He's doing Monday night today. You know, he wanted to do that, switch off Monday nights. I'm like, all right, it don't matter to me because all I care about is all day Sunday. So yeah, exactly. They could have got Fields. Like Trevor Lawrence was going first pick overall. They should have grabbed Fields, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, if they was in the same draft, yeah. So that's how I look at it. Yeah, he has epilepsy. Well, he gonna get some more dealing with the damn Bears offense. The Bears offense is so trash. Every year they offense get worse and worse. I don't know who the Bears. I don't know what the hell the Bears are doing. They were running the ball good, and then they were trying to make Fields just drop back. They had no creativity to the offense. It was terrible. The Bears are gonna get Fields killed. That's what's gonna happen. It's trash. But yeah. So thank you guys, man, for listening. Make sure that you yeah, he does. He need to get up out of there, C-Pen. I agree. Thank y'all for listening. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this, hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if y'all love what y'all hear, y'all could go to the description box, hit that link to my Cash App, donate whatever your heart's desire. Next time we have a live or premiere video, you guys can super chat, and you guys can also leave a super thanks if you don't make the video or make the live. Ain't Roquan Smith supposed to be traded? Yeah, he's supposed to be traded, but they're not going to trade him. They're forcing Roquan to stay there. They're not going to trade him. They're not doing it seriously. But thank you guys, man, for listening. We out. Deezy.